And let me share my, think if I go ahead and share my screen. I think we're good there. Now I have to go back and find Amanda. All right. Amanda, can you see the people waiting in the waiting room now, that section? Was that a yes, Amanda?
Yes.
Okay. Then I am going to go ahead and start. And I'm getting some feedback, so I'm going to put my earbuds in.
Probably my bulldog snorting. Quit it. Quit snorting and quit.
Clint, can you mute yourself?
Yeah.
All right, great. Welcome everybody today. I know many of you from Plaza or Congress, so I'm super excited to have a bunch of staff that I already know and know pretty well. For those of you that don't know me, I'll look forward to meeting you probably that first week of June and welcoming you to our host site of Plaza for this summer. And I know some of you have worked here in this building before, but you're just not here right now. So just, I'm Jenny Daniel, and I'm looking forward to working with you in June and then a few days in July. So what I wanted to do today was kind of go over all the nuts and bolts and things that we have planned for summer school, recording this for some of you that don't have it and aren't here today, some of your colleagues that aren't here today. And then also I'm going to share this presentation, this Google presentation with you, because it's going to have a ton of links in there for you that you'll probably refer back to almost every day during summer school. So I'll go over that with you here in just a second. So first of all, important times for you. And again, I'll share this with you later. But for our summer school, 7:10 is in the morning is when I need all the teachers here. Some of you are working in different positions for the teachers this year, and I've already shared with you the time that I need you here for the duties that you're doing. But all teachers need to be here by 7:10 because that's when students will be coming in the building and getting ready to go down to your classrooms. From 7:15 to 7:30, we're going to do grab and go breakfast and then eat them in the classroom, just like we're doing right now for the end of our school year. And I think Congress is doing this as well. We'll continue that practice for summer school. So when kids come in, they can go down, grab a hot breakfast, and then go and eat it in their first hour class, which will be jump start classes for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And then school hours, I've got a schedule I'm going to show you in a minute. School actually hours are 7:30 to 2:30, which is a little bit later for some of us than right now, but not by very much. And then we will have buses ready to roll and parent pickup starting at 2:30. And that'll take, we're going to do it similar on the parent pickup that we're doing it right now at Plaza, which we'll go over in a little bit with you, but we'll start that a little bit before 2:30 so that by the time 2:30 gets here, we can start getting kids out of the building and ready for parent pickup. That process takes 10-15 minutes. And then at 2:40, teachers are actually off duty and they can leave. So that's kind of some important times for you for summer school. So I know that you all received your contract or your information about staff agreement. So the hours that you'll be scheduled to work will be 7:10 to 2:40. I've planned in one planning time for each one of you and a lunch break for each one of you. You're also paid for a half of a work day for the week prior to set up. And I'll have a little Google form for you to fill out in this presentation about what day you're thinking that you're going to come in and do that. The school actually begins on Monday, June 7th, and then it runs Monday through Friday all the way up until the last day is July 2nd. So for payroll purposes, the form you see here on the screen is the one that teachers will fill out. And you'll fill this out and then you'll turn it in to me and I'll sign off on it. And this is how you'll get paid. And you'll notice that you're either working a full day, a half a day, or you didn't work. So some of you all are job sharing. So even though we've got those dates of when you're working and when you're job sharing, on the dates that you're not working for your job share, you simply circle 0, and then that should match with the other person. The same is if you have to put in for a substitute teacher, you're still going to mark this as a 0 did not work day. You're still going to do will sub like we do this school year for teachers. But you also, we're going to do paper pencil on to make sure money's right for when you get paid. So you'll get paid the first time on July 19th, and that's for the time that you work in June, which will also include the half of a work day. And then the next time you get paid will be July 23rd, and then that time will be for that July time that we're working, because we have summer school July 1st and 2nd, so that you're also going to get your normal teacher contract pay that you normally get on that. So it'll be, so that paycheck, but it will also include those couple days in July that you're going to be working. And then, like I said, we're going to use will sub for all absences and sub requests. And complete this paper pencil copy that's over here on the right. And I'll have those printouts ready for you for the start of summer school. The other thing is, if you're not a teacher and you're working like in recovery or TA, you're a person that typically punches in and out with Kronos, you'll continue using Kronos for summer school. So if you typically do that, that's how you're going to continue doing it for summer school. So some things that I've been working on a lot and that I'll continue is basically the entire schedule and classroom placements, which I've got that for you today, all the nuts and bolts, which is what this is all about. And then every morning we'll be doing announcements, and then we'll do a dismissal announcements too. When you get this presentation, you'll be able to click on this link and actually see a copy of those two as we do each day, just in case you missed the morning announcements because you didn't hear them. You can go back and refer to them for your kids. I'll also do the contact tracing for the building. We do have the nurse, and I think she's here in the meeting today, and she'll talk a little bit about nursing things, but she'll help me with that if we have any cases. We're still, right now, the procedures that you're doing in your own buildings with mask and trying to do the physical distancing the best that we can. We know we're still tight in a lot of rooms, and we can't always get 6 feet away from people, but the cafeteria, we're split in our building by doing about 100 kids right now in our cafeteria that eats at one time, and the other 100 that's eating at that same time goes to our smaller auxiliary gym, and they eat lunch in there. We're going to continue those practices through our summer school in June as well. Right now, I'd like all of you guys to look at my cell number right there, and I'd like you to send me, if you've never sent me a text before and I don't have your number, I'd like you to send me a text and tell me your name. Then I'm going to add you right into my phone just in case we need to communicate by cell at all throughout this next month on anything. So a lot of you have my cell number and I have you programmed in, but man, I hear my phone going off right now. So I know some of you are taking care of that. So please do that. So I have your cell and you have mine. Here is a building map of where everyone's going to be. And again, when you get this, you'll be able to click on this link right up here and go straight to it. But this is where I plan to have everyone's classroom. You can see that I have some different color codings. The numbers right now for summer school look pretty good. We've had a lot of kids already enroll. I think we're up to, when I checked it Monday morning, I think we're about at, right now, 120 or so incoming sixth graders. And so we're going to split them into 2 teams, and that's been the plan. So we'll have 2 sixth grade teams. So you can see the blue team is, you can see they're color coded on the map where their rooms are going to be. The other sixth grade team is in orange, so you can see where their classrooms will be. And then one team of 7th grade, and right now I think our enrollment looks like about 50 or 60, something like that. 7th graders, so they'll all be on one team. 8th graders, I think it looked like to me there's 40 or 50, something like that, as of Monday morning. And so they'll all be on one team too. So I've kind of got them separated out into the building into different locations that are kind of clustered together. And then the red that you see, that really takes over all 3 grade levels for different things that we're doing. So you can kind of see how I have that laid out. Now, a special thing that we have this year is a pilot program that we're hosting at our school. And it's going to be a pilot program for 4 incoming 4th and 5th grade students. And let's see, we'll get to that in a second. I'll tell you more about that in just a minute. I think Angie Doss, are you on here?
I am.
Did you want to go ahead and talk about that since you're going to another meeting too?
Sure.
Or do you want me to get to your slide first?
If you want to, totally up to you.
Okay. You go ahead and talk and I'll get to it.
Well, thanks for letting me have some time today. I'm Angie Doss. I'm the assistant principal over at English Landing. This summer, I'm going to be overseeing the pilot program that will be split between Plaza and Walden. So you'll see me in your building. I'll also be over at Walden. And I'm so thankful to have Jenny to work with because I think it's juggling some different balls in the air. So you'll see some of our incoming 4th and 5th grade students in the building. We have 2 programs we're running. These students were invited to participate in these programs, and we had a limited capacity. So in our Park Hill Presents program, the first 60 kids that applied were accepted. And then in the STEM program, we have a little over 40. We're at about 45 to 48 kids per building. So they have, basically, we're framing this as an experience. They are going to be doing a lot of project-based learning. And so they're really excited. We have 4 Park Hill Presents teachers at each site and then 2 STEM teachers. And I think if you look at the next slide, that just kind of gives you, that's a lot. I'm not going to read that to you. That gives you a lot of information. That's just for you to have. I knew that Jenny was going to be sharing this with you, so you have that. It just talks a little bit about the program itself and then gives you my information. One of the things that it's going to be a little different because we'll be going to lunch with you. Our kids will have recess outside, so we'll be using some space for that. We might have some sharing of space, so that's something we're working out together, especially the Park Hill Presents program, because they'll actually be doing some performances. So we will have some evening performances happening and some daytime performances. So I think that's, and the Lion King experience, that is their focus for the Park Hill Presents. And then building tiny homes and robotics is our experience for the STEM program. So we're pretty excited.
Thanks for joining us for a little bit of our meeting today. And I know you'll be talking to some of your colleagues about different things, but you will see on our map, we've kind of placed them in one corner of our building, especially with our stage, because they'll be taking over that area. And then in the small gym, which is right here, They'll actually be eating their lunch. They have one of the first lunch shifts, and then they'll go outside for recess in this area here, as long as the weather's good. If not, they can stay in the small gym for their recess time. So we're gonna make that work for them. But, all right, so staff expectations for you guys. I need you to click on this link after I send this out to you, and then sign up for your half workday. So I kind of know when you're going to be here. You can either do it on June 1st or 2nd. Our building won't be available for June 3rd though, because we've got it. It actually will be available, but I won't be here, and I'd like to be here when you're here if at all possible. So if you would sign up for either a half day on June 1 or 2nd. Our building will be open on June 3rd and 4th, but I won't be available to help you on June 3rd. And then I'm guessing most of you probably don't want to come in on that Friday, but I will be here too. But if you would sign up for one of those 2 times to get your keys and things like that, if you don't have keys to our building or to your room, our front office staff will be here to help you with that on June 1 and 2. When you come in that day, you need to find out where your room is, log into your phone, make sure that you can get your login on your phone in your room. Make sure you know how that works. You're also going to be picking up a summer school tote from our cafe, and it will have your supplies in it that you need for your jump start, and then you can kind of you'll share that tote with your grade level, but then you guys can divvy out your different supplies for your jump start classes. All teachers, with the exception of just a couple, will be teaching a first day jump start class every morning. It's kind of like a homeroom in a way, if you're not familiar with it. The other thing you need to do on that June 1 or 2 day is to review the schedule and rosters. They'll be in Infinite Campus by then. They're not in there right now, but you'll need to make sure you know what kids you have. Make some seating charts for your class or your lunch shift. So as a team together, you'll probably be doing that for you'll see in a moment, you're going to eat lunch. Your kids will be eating lunch together as a grade level or a team. And we do have a Google Doc where you will upload a scanned copy to our Google Drive after the first day, because I don't want you to do that. I want you to have one ready to go, but I wouldn't upload it and say that it's for sure until after the first day bugs are kind of worked out. And I've already been told there's going to be lots of kids that show up on the first day that haven't enrolled and they want to be part of summer school. So so don't upload the seating charts to the drive until after that first day, please, because you don't want to just have to redo that. But also, I need you to meet with Carrie Jardine or Amanda Benjamin if you need to. They will be available. They are going to talk here in just a second about special education needs. As I said before, Jump Start will be taught by all teachers. You'll need to make sure and go through this ahead of time to have the right material so you kind of know. And that's why I have the links to all the curriculum right here, how to go to that. And some of you are probably already doing that right now. You can already get into Schoology and go to groups. You'll go to my groups, and then you'll have to click on join a group if you have it. Those of you that did this last summer school is the same link. But those of you that are new to teaching summer school or you're teaching a different curriculum, you'll want to make sure and pull that up. Everything's pretty spelled out of what you'll be teaching and the scope and sequence of that, but there's the code right there. Seating charts. So I talked a little bit about this drive. This is what it looks like. We refer to these, especially we've referred to these for contact tracing for COVID. So that's why it's really important that we get seating charts uploaded electronically, especially for times that kids aren't wearing masks, which those would be lunch times. That's the most important thing. If you're a teacher that, in your classroom, kids are always going to have masks on, and you don't necessarily, I don't necessarily need those seating charts, to be quite honest, but there are times that you're going to have kids eat, if you're going to have kids eat snacks in your room, or like even the breakfast, if they're going to eat breakfast, and they will be, I would need that seating chart because the mask will come off. And that's when we need to especially look at quarantining kids and people for COVID still. Like our PE, we're still having them give us seating charts and things like that, because a lot of times when they're doing heavy duty sports or running, they'll take masks off or those kind of things. So anyway, that's why we've developed this kind of system for seating charts. Again, I have skeleton diagrams of our layout for our cafe and our auxiliary gym. So once you see where your team will sit, whether it's the cafe or the aux gym, the seating charts look a little different. So, but you can find those all here. They're already loaded into this summer seating charts. There's skeleton diagrams, and I just need to make sure and share this drive with you guys. So I will, after this meeting, when I share all this, I'll share the drive with you for seating charts. Breakfast will be ready in the cafe each morning by 7:15. Students grab it and go to eat in their Jump Start class. Also, in that first class of the day, by 8 a.m., you will do a lunch count. And so that is a lot, that's really different if you've never taught summer school for us before, or you've never taught, and you've only taught elementary. Well, let's see, elementary does this still, I think, every day right now. But in our summer school program, we need to take a lunch count every morning for all of our students. So each morning in your Jump Start class, you will actually hear what the lunch menu is, because I've read it over the morning announcements, and you can go back to it and look. But I need each staff member to take lunch on this Google Doc that you'll have. It's already been made. The students' names aren't in there yet, but you'll actually put a 1 beside every student that's on your list. So this 1 for John Smith on here means that he wants the regular meal. Sally Sue on here wants the premium meal. Bobby White, he's brought his lunch from home, and Zoemiah Zaks is absent. All of these numbers then populate to cells here and formulas that I have made. So please don't jack with the formulas. And then they flow through to a beginning of the page for the cafeteria supervisors. For Andrea Rogers is our cafeteria in charge of the lunchroom program for summer school and breakfast. And she needs this information by 8 o'clock every morning to be accurately filled out. So no other numbers, but a number 1 beside each student in one of those columns. And then at the end of the day, she'll wipe out the numbers so that there's no numbers showing for the next day. There's also a tab for staff. So if you're a staff member that wants to purchase regular meal or premium meal, go ahead and fill that out. If you're not, you don't have to fill your section out. But if you would fill out how the kids want every day. So that'll need to be done every day in the morning in Jump Start class. For lunches, this is the lunch schedule. So you can see the first real everyday group that eats is the 7th grade team, and they eat every day from 10:48 to 11:11 in our auxiliary gym. This 7th grade team needs to report to the cafeteria to get lunch at 10:48, no earlier than that, but right at 10:48, then they'll be allowed into the cafeteria to get their lunch, and then they'll walk down to our auxiliary gym, and they'll be seated in the seating assignment that you guys give them. Then at 10:51, our first 6th grade team will come down, and they will go through the lunch line, and then they will eat in the cafeteria. Next group then is our 4th and 5th grade group. They're right in the middle, but they're the last one in the aux gym. They're in the last one in the aux gym so that if they have to use that space for recess, they can. So that's why we have them strategically placed there. And then the last 2 shifts will be fine in the cafe as well. This first group is just our web program, and it only happens on 2 days, June 16th and 30th. We'll have web students in our building all day, those 2 days. And so they have a little bit of different schedule, but we'll get this to those sponsors this year. But just wanted you guys kind of see this in writing about when you're eating lunch and where I need seating charts made for your different groups. We do have 2 wonderful cafeteria supervisors that are here in today's meeting that are going to be helping us out. So one of them will be posted in the Ox Gym during these Ox Gym ones, and then the other times they'll both be in the cafeteria. But I'm happy to say I've worked with both of these ladies before, so I know they run a good ship with our cafeteria. I've got posted in here the breakfast menu just for your information, and there's a link to get to it. If you want to get hard copy, here's the lunch menu, and again, there's a link for it as well. And then other big things involve arrival and dismissal. So I've got a couple of staff members on here right now, Amanda and Carrie. I'm going to let you guide them through these next couple of slides and talk about it.
I can talk about buses really quick. So I do the buses right now with our other assistant principal. And so I'm job sharing with Carrie, so I will not be there the first 2 weeks. So I have assigned, I worked on a supervision schedule, which Jenny will talk about here in a second. But we're going to, in the morning, they'll come in and we'll let them off in a staggered way. We usually go 2 at a time, depending, I don't know how many they're gonna be there, but last summer I think we had at 9 or 10 or something like that. So I'm guessing around the same amount. And then in the afternoon, we'll do a staggered dismissal, dismissing 4th and 5th first, and then 6th, 7th, 8th, all with like a 2-minute spread just to kind of keep them all from gathering in the hallway and out of the buses. And then we'll have a handful of people out there monitoring. And then I'm gonna get with somebody who will kind of be the pinpoint person out there. Because if you don't know, at Plaza, it's a very busy street, and it is difficult to roll our buses. So I usually go and stand in the road and let the buses go. And so I'll talk with somebody about that once we pinpoint that person. So that buses will be staggered dismissals.
And I currently am in charge of car riders right now at Plaza and have it down to a pretty well-oiled machine. Which I will be there at the beginning. I'm doing the first 2 weeks. And so I will get with those teachers that are going to be helping with that. A couple of you are currently at Plaza, so I'm going to reach out to you early and get you kind of trained on our process. But it goes really smooth. The kiddos in the morning will just come in like normal. If they get there early, there'll be some adults there to supervise them. Once it's time for dismissal, car riders are dismissed first and they go to our gym where they wait, and then we call them out 8 cars at a time and load them, and those cars leave, and then we do the next 8. So it's a pretty smooth process, but I'll help get those teachers trained on what you need to do at the beginning.
Thank you very much for that, both of you. And we will have everybody helping with arrival and dismissal. So we will have a link that I will post in here on this slide that kind of shows you what we're thinking about. We've been working on it today, but I wasn't ready quite to put it in here yet, but when I share this with you, I will be. We'll have school spirit days every day, so you can kind of see we've got it divvied out and ready to go, kind of as some fun things for kids and staff to wear for the different days of the week. Christine Struby, our librarian this summer, do you want to talk about that?
Once I get master schedule, I will pull either your reading or your writing time and hopefully make a schedule for you to come and visit the library. We can do just checkout. If you want some special lesson to go along with your curriculum for summer, I'm happy to pull information or together come up with some some, fun activity to do with the kids. So I'm flexible and open to what is best for you. But I will get that schedule out to you. I'm going to try to get it out to you by Friday if I have the master schedule. Otherwise, it will be Monday for sure. And then just let me know what tweaks we need to make along the way. Okay? Thank you.
Here is the Plaza's Congress Summer School schedule. There'll be a link. You can click up here and go to the link so you can see it a little bit better. The copy and paste is kind of blurry, I know, but this is who is teaching what and the times that they are. So you can see that first thing in the morning is this jump start class for everybody across the board except for our PE teachers. And then we go into core and elective classes, what you're teaching for each one of those. You can see what team you're on. I don't have fun little names for all the teams, but 6th grade A team, 6th grade B team, and 7th grade and an 8th grade team. And so that's kind of what we're going with. And then you can kind of see the schedule. So there it is. We already talked about our special program. These are the names of the teachers that are going to be here. So we have some of our own. Jen Mucko will be here. And then I know that these are from around the district. So these are the teachers that are going to be here. They're not in the meeting today, but I know they're watching this back. And then special education coordinators, Carrie and Amanda, if there's anything you want to talk about there.
Before I will have a list of kiddos and I will have looked through all their IEPs and kind of have some just little tidbits of information that you'll need to know about the kiddos. And then what I'll do is I'll set up times that I'll come pull them and check in. But remember, during summer school, we don't pull them for a whole class. It's really just kind of check in, or I'm available if somebody's having a meltdown or that kind of stuff. And then when I leave, Amanda will pick up right where I left off with everything I have in place. But if you need me, I'm here to support you however I can. So.
And then on top of that, we have a few 504 students as well. I'm the 504 coordinator at Plaza, and I'm going to get with the 504 coordinator at Congress because we do have a few with some significant needs. So I will make sure to get that information to you as well, just so you guys are aware. And Carrie and I will be happy to work with those kiddos as well.
As I say, in the first 2 weeks, if you need anything with those kiddos, yes, I will support that as well too. So.
And the great thing that I learned about summer school here, which I didn't know this, and I've done summer school in the past, but never in this district, so I didn't have a clue how this worked, but I've realized that now there's no homework in summer school, and we don't do traditional grading and grade reporting, and that's nice because then you don't have to worry about those things. So yeah, there's learning going on, but we don't have to worry about posting grades to grade cards and Infinite Campus and all those types of things. So that's really a nice thing. I also learned that it's pretty much a day at a time. A kid might come one day and not come another. And they might just come for 1 week or 2 weeks, but we take them as we get them. And so it's more relaxed, but it is summer school. So, but it's nice to know that we don't have to stress about grading and all those types of things. At least I think that's nice. So. All right, Nurse Phil, you're up.
Well, first of all, I told Ryan last year that was the weirdest slide ever, but anyway.
I copied and pasted it. I told him to change it.
This is my 7th year doing summer school, and I'm going to try not to kill every tree in the neighborhood here, giving you all your alerts, but I will let you know if you've got a kid with severe allergies or diabetes. I already met with one kid today. They're going to be a Plaza student summer and next year, but they came to Congress to meet me today. And I think I passed, so I think they're going to be coming for at least a week. And I'll let you all know who has this girl because she'll be coming, it sounds like, to the nursing office a lot. And I will try to keep track of everybody, and I'm here for any questions that you have. I'm here late at school today because COVID is still alive. I'm doing contact tracing for 3 families today. And so we're having a little bit of an uptick, and I bet we'll have some in summer school, but we'll keep you all informed like we always have, and we'll get through it.
Thank you. All right, the last thing on my slide are all the important links. So I tried to put them all in a one-stop shop for you so that when you come back to this, if you need to come back to this one every day, you'll have everything handy. So the lunch count forms right there, our schedules here, the map, the PHSD summer school, that's just the link to the main website where they talk about summer school. The summer school spirit days chart, the shared drive for the seating charts. Oh, I guess I did put that in there. I didn't remember doing that. Our arrival and dismissal directions and the map for it, lunch menu, and then the morning dismissal announcements. So those are all the things I have for you. So Carrie and Amanda have been scanning the chat for me. Are there any questions that we haven't addressed yet? Or that anybody wants to pose?
Hey, Jenny, I can just chime in. This is Matt Calvin. Just want to let you guys know, I don't think it was mentioned, but we do, that's a newer piece, but we do have counselor support this summer as well. So I'll be doing the first 2 weeks, and then Angie Sharp, who is one of the counselors over at Park Hill South, I think I saw her on here, she'll be doing the second half of summer school. So we'll be around to help out with kind of the normal student needs and counseling issues.
Thanks, Matt. I should have made you a special slide.
That's okay. We don't need a special slide.
Anybody else have anything for the good of the cause or questions? Well, I know for some of you, the biggest piece maybe was curriculum and you weren't sure what you were teaching and how, so I hope I answered those questions. I will upload this to YouTube and send you guys out the link, and I will also share a few items with you after the fact, either tonight or tomorrow or Friday at the latest. If you need anything between now and then, just don't hesitate to reach out to me. You have my cell number now. So thank you guys. Have a great night.
Thank you. Thank you.
I knew you'd stay on just to say something.
Bye.
Hey, Stephanie, thanks.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
I made you the host, so you can.
Were there any questions?
No, there weren't any in the chat.
Good. All right, great.
Okay, perfect.
Must have been perfect. Oh, I stopped recording. Stop.